What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Anthony Sain Show. This is, of course, your host, Anthony Sain. Here with my guy, Kenny Stubblefield, super producer, executive producer, big-time boss over here at Bluff City Media as well.
Is that what I am?
Yeah, you on your real Vince McMahon shit, man. Playing like you a commentator, man, but you knowing you the boss around this joint, man. hey, the gig is up, man. The gig is up. I'm blowing the cover. But, yeah, what's going on with you, Kenny? You good, brother?
Man, I am recovering, man. I'm going to tell you that right now. I'm recovering.
Yeah, you were gone.
Yeah, I was in Virginia this weekend. Drove 13 hours to Virginia on Friday morning. Spent the rest of the time with family, but in the car, traveling back and forth from event to event to event to event. Got up Sunday morning, drove back to Memphis, and I am dead to the world, bro. I'm tired.
No, I'm already knowing. I don't think I've gone this long without talking to you since before we were doing the show, at least.
Yeah.
And I said I knew you was out of town, so I don't bother people when they out of town. At least I try not to. So, yeah, I know you were gone. So it's good to see you back, man. We talked this morning because I saw you were back in the Discord. So I said, yeah, me holler at my boy real quick, man, just to catch up. Yeah. But, yeah, man, since the last time we talked, Kenny Stubblefield, what a difference a week makes, man. Things were so different just a week ago when it comes down to the NBA playoffs, right?
Unbelievable.
We were talking about a Boston Pacers series that we felt would be over pretty easy. That series has been a lot harder for Boston, all things considered. Especially losing Tyrese Halliburton for the last two games.
Right.
Boston just showing the heart of a champion, man. Just the image of somebody holding somebody by the head while they're swinging hard is what they've done to the Pacers.
It's crazy to me. Like they swept the series 4-0, so folks are going to laugh when they hear you say it's been a hard series. But you got to look at the games, right? Like the games have been tough.
Mm-hmm. Reminiscent of 2013 Memphis Grizzlies against the San Antonio Spurs.
That's right.
Except I don't remember any games. We were never like blowing fourth quarter leads like the Pacers.
Up by 18 in the
yeah, it was never nothing like that. San Antonio just kind of kept us at bay for the entire series. But yeah, Boston got that ass up out of here. But when I reference what a difference a week makes, we're talking about, of course, the Dallas Mavericks versus Minnesota Timberwolves. I predicted Minnesota to win this series. I thought it'd be a great epic series. It has not been. The game's been relatively close, but Dallas leads 3-0. I got a feeling that Dallas is going to win tonight. We record, of course, on Tuesday for Wednesday. I got a feeling that Minnesota's going to win tonight, but Dallas does look like they're about to win this series. Yeah, man, it's crazy, and I've got my memes off. I've got my jokes off. I was okay about this, man. I'm an Anthony Edwards fan. Right? I really like Anthony Edwards' game. I think he's a great player, but the just dick riding of this dude, like with the whole face of the league and job blew the bag. I was like, all right, enough, bro. Okay, bro. All right. And then to see his team be down 3-0, and then the people got mad at me, Kenny Stubblefield, when I made my statement saying that I'm not pulling for Minnesota strictly because Mike Conley's on the team.
Of Mike, yeah.
And the Sain God curse is upon them. They have not won a game since y'all disrespected your tribal chief. Yeah, Minnesota down 0-3. And I hear people talk. I was listening to Jason and John's show today, and they were talking about, is Cat now the odd man out? And I've said this before. I've said this time and time again. You're not trading Karl Anthony Towns, bro. Not because he doesn't need to be gone. That dude's making $60 million a year. Like, who? It's kind of like this right here, man. It's kind of like if it's kind of like if you've got a bad pair of shoes that you don't wear anymore, right? Right. And you say, okay, I don't wear these shoes at all. I need to make room for these new shoes in my closet, right? It's just like if you got rid of those shoes and then like somebody says, well, then trying to say, hey, I'll take those off your hands. Like I don't want to throw them away, but I don't want to give them away either. So like I'll take those off your hands. But yeah, I want $60 million for these shoes that I don't want anyway. Like, bro, you've identified that you can identify that Karl Anthony Towns is the problem.
Right.
What team is going to give you $60 million worth of trade assets to get him? I can't even think of a trade that even mathematically makes sense. Let alone basketball makes sense.
It's like Hoka shoes. All right. Like I like this analogy. Let's expand it. Let's expand it out a little bit here. It's like everybody wanted the Hoka shoes when they came out because they were kind of dope looking. They're kind of comfortable. Everybody's talking about
$200.
How good they are.
Whatever they cost.
But then the reviews started coming, and everybody started going, oh, we see what these shoes are really all about. And so I got a closet full of Hokas downstairs. I want to make way for the Jaws coming through. I need my Jaw ones. I need my Jaw ones out. but I got my Hokas in there. So I don't want to throw them away because they're still good shoes. I don't want to give them away. So now I'm asking people, hey, listen, pay $200 or pay $150 for these shoes. No. Everybody's like, we've seen the reviews, bro.
Yeah, we've seen the reviews. It's crazy.
We've seen the reviews. This is cat.
Because if you're talking about, if you're moving this deal, right, it's got to be like 50 something to $60 million worth of salary. That's good players, bro. Like, why am I giving you good players for Karl-Anthony Towns? Like, why would I, like, this? For instance,
that's multiple good players. Multiple.
Right. For instance, if the Grizzlies wanted to get Karl-Anthony Towns, right, that would be Jaren Jackson Jr., Marcus Smart, and Luke Kennard, just to make the numbers work.
Just to get Cat back on the team.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Nah.
Like, no, bro. Like, no.
Nah.
Like, what team would be down for any of it? You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy, bro. But like I said,
did you just get attacked again for the third straight episode?
No, I didn't. I dropped my phone. I dropped my phone that time. But yeah, man, I'm not expecting anybody knocking on my door. I've never been expecting anybody knocking on my door. Last two episodes, somebody's knocked on the door in the middle of recording, and it scared the shit out of me. I'm not expecting anybody. Matter of fact, I'm trying to think in my mind. I can't think of any scenario where anybody would knock on my door today. But I tell you what, man, I am about to leave the door open for my good friend, Parish Sharkey, who's about to join us. Of course, he is the Memphis Grizzlies beat writer for Bluff City Media. He's here each and every Wednesday on the Anthony Sain Show. When we come back, we'll talk about the NBA playoffs with him as well. Some Grizzlies stuff going on out there as well. It's going to be a good show, man. A lot of stuff going on at the University of Memphis. Legendary Bill Walton passed away today. Going to talk about that, as well as just how odd it is, how rare it is really for NBA players of our generation to pass away, period. How few deaths we've seen in our lifetime, and it comes down to NBA players. We'll talk about that and more as the show goes on. But when we come back, like I said, Parish Sharkey will join us for the sit down with Sain, like he does each and every Wednesday. We'll see you guys on the other side.
And like, I get it. Like, some people are like, "Oh, great addition." Some people are like, I don't care about this one. Who gives a damn? They should be aiming higher. Like, did we not learn a damn thing from last year?
Are there no lessons from last year?
They didn't have good team chemistry. Penny and Rick were struggling on who to put on the floor at times. You had weird rotational issues. Find guys that play roles for you. I think Tyreek Smith, I'm like high on it because I think it's an escape from last year's blunder.
Tune into On the Bluff with Christian Fowler and Gabe Kuhn every Tuesday at 12 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
The Grizzlies, number nine in the NBA draft. They're picking 9th, 39th, and 57. Who they getting with those three? Go.
A veteran from around the league.
Okay.
I mean, I don't. If there's something that they could do with that 9th pick that gets them someone that's already proven, then yeah, because I don't even know who would be thought of as being the 9th best player that's coming out at this point. I have no idea who that person would be, but I know this team, in terms of for moving forward, you think of, in terms of winning a championship, still young enough, and you still want some pieces that are able to help you win right now, not just continue to amass for the future. For the future is right now for this team.
Tune in to the Night Court podcast with your hosts, Rob Fisher and Brevin Knight, on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the Anthony Sain Show. Got my guy Parish Sharkey in the building. Parish, what's going on, my boy?
What's good, my guy? How was your Memorial Day?
Man, it was good, man. I had memories of sleep, and that's all I had. That's all I had got for you. I didn't get no barbecue. I didn't do nothing. But yeah, man. Yeah, good to have you on today, man. I was laughing at that. I'm about to tell Kennard to pop back on because I was listening to the return music, right? That Kennard's got, and it's a bootleg version of. It's a altered version of Drake's Summer 16. And just the irony of that is that like that was one of my most devious years on Twitter, like Twitter. And I was doing radio at the time. I was doing AM radio, paying time for AM radio at the time. And I just remember summer 16. That was the year that we got Chandler Parsons and Chandler Parsons year. That was what was the coach? David Fizdale year.
Yeah,
we did a few little small, a couple other little small things as far as changing the roster around. But I was just in my bag as far as like trolling people and just being a menace to everybody. Like people who I not call my friends, like Peter Evanston and Chris Harrington and Rob Fisher. I was just in my bag, just being on the bullshit, man. In summer 16, and I never had that discussion with Kenny, but I often reference like y'all don't want to see summer 16 saying right. But I showed y'all a couple previews. I showed y'all some flashes from summer 16 and summer 24. But yeah, it's kind of weird that Kenny, kind of wild that Kenny picked that song. But anyway, Parish Sharkey, that's not what we came here to talk about. We got plenty to talk about with the NBA. What in the hell happened in the Dallas-Minnesota series? Why did that series, who everybody thought would be so awesome, so amazing, turn into a total dud when it comes down to the Minnesota Timberwolves and Dallas?
But technically, I mean, it's still been a good series. Just one team has won all the games, right? That's the unfortunate part. You want a long series. Yeah, you want a long series, but I've seen long series, Cavs, Magic, not be good. It was right? So
I did not watch the second of that series.
Yeah, like I was saying, I've seen the 7-game series not even be that good. And this series is better than that series, and it's 3-0. So I prefer this one. But it's just simple as Luka and Kyrie. I mean, they're two of the clutchest players in the NBA, right? I don't know where you rank them at, but they top 5, both of them. Probably top 5 in your if you're talking about who can hit shots in the clutch. And that's what's going on. It's been all close games. In the clutch moments, Luka and Kyrie have stepped up over Anthony Edwards, Carlton Towns, Naz Reid, you name it. And they hit all the clutch shots. Even that game 2, when Naz Reid hit all those threes, he went 8 for 9. The one that counted the most, he missed, right? So it was like, Luka, he made his shots. Like, it was like, okay, y'all gonna barrel me. All right, I'm gonna get my step back. Boom. It's over. Kyrie, clutch 3 in the corner. Even PJ Washington, you could tell he's struggling shooting, but he always make the clutch one. Yeah, in the fourth quarter, then when the game on the line, he makes a clutch shot. Even he struggled the whole game. He always make one. Dane Gafford, he got dunked on last game. What he do? Had games, basically a game in the block and a dunk, right back to back. Yeah. So their players, they just got they led by Luka and Kyrie. Kyrie's changed a whole lot. Happy, proud of him, happy for him that he's matured. He's happy now. You can tell he's happy. Yeah. Luka, hey, you can hate him. that might cold.
Yeah, I hate him. He's cold as shit. like he's undeniably cold, bro. Like he's undeniably like extremely cold. Right. He looks so effortless doing what he's doing, man. Like and me and Kenny have been some of Luka's biggest haters the entire year. Like, I mean, nobody want to see your fat James Harden ass. Like, bro, like nobody wants to see you dribble. Like, you know, and step back. Like, I'm so sick of this city. Like, but he's there cold as hell. And like, I'm one of the people who I never thought what they're doing would work. Even with having the formula of having 2 elite, like you said, just shot creators, guys who can score off the dribble, create their own shot, and just be as efficient as they are and just play make, dribble, pass, and shoot the way that these guys can. It just didn't seem to be working at first. But like those guys have just honed in and they're playing elite basketball at the right time in the playoffs. When you see a team like Dallas doing what they're doing, but basically just having 2 main guys who are, you know, like you said, Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic, right? And they're getting ready to set up to play probably a team like Boston, who's got 2 great, you know, 2 guys who fit that same bill, and Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. What type of series do you see coming up, especially this Boston team who doesn't have Porzingis yet? He'll probably be right back for the finals, of course. And the way to have everything set up, the finals aren't for another. And if Minnesota loses tonight, we're not going to see everything for like 10 days or something. You know what I mean? Like, so, like, what kind of series do you expect to see those 4 guys basically going head to head in that series?
I would say I expect a good series, but Boston is just, I don't want to explain it. Well, I don't know. You said the same thing about Minnesota. They had all these defenders, McDaniels, Anthony Edwards, you know, Nikhil in the wall, you can throw at them, and Luka and Kyrie still killing, right? So you can say the same thing about Boston, Drew Holiday.
You can throw all them dudes that are big, but it don't matter. Those
No matter
kind
what.
of guys can affect guys like Jokic because you're throwing throwing a Hornets in that cell. You know what I mean? But against other guards like Luke and Kyrie, it don't matter. They scoring. They finna get buckets regardless. Yeah,
so they still can get their buckets. Jason Brown, I expect them to show up, especially Jaden Brown, who always show up. I don't know. It was kind of a stylistic fight because you got your two guards who are the top dogs, and you got your two wings who are the top dogs on the other end. So it's gonna be a clash. I think the big man, hopefully Derek Lively. I know he's missing game 4. Hopefully, I think he should be okay with that. With the knee to the head situation that he had from Cat. As long as they get him back, they can match up big man wise. Porzingis be back. So you really got like all levels. It's different type of guards. So you got the scorers on the outside, but you got the defenders on the Boston side who can make clutch shots and clutch plays. Drew Holiday making clutch steals, clutch blocks. Derek White making a clutch 3 last night. So I expect a really good battle. It's gonna be different, but I mean, you really all this. I'm like y'all. I don't care for the face of the league talk, and feel like Luka. You know, I guess we want an American face of the league, but Luka seems to be left out of it. Although he's made 5 first-team All NBAs the last 5 years. Right. And you got him versus Jason Tatum, who people seem not to add him in the talk either. So it's like Anthony Edwards had all this hype, but now it's kind of kind of coming back down to earth a little bit.
Hey, there were a lot of jokes about Anthony Edwards, right? About how he's, been ghetto as hell when the game's over, like in the press conference and stuff, right? Man, that dude speaking English, taking these losses. That man turned into 21 Savage, bro. That man was Atlanta, Anthony Edwards, and then England, Anthony Edwards after the losses.
He sure sound different, man.
That man acted different after the man. That man talking proper as hell, losing, ain't it, bro?
But I do got a question for you. Thinking about Boston. Shout out to your last guest, Jonathan Marshall, who covered the Celtics up there. My guy, really good show interview. Really, I was thinking a lot. I really agree with a lot of things he said about the whole how much pressure we put on Boston and 6 Eastern Conference Finals in 8 years. Jaylen Brown, 5 to 7 years to Jason Tatum. It does how we like, man, championship or bust, definitely. And I'm thinking about what he said, and now I'm thinking, asking you really on like, what's up with this whole Jason Tatum versus Jaylen Brown thing? Like, people kind of seeing a lot of even Celtics people saying like, oh man, Jaylen Brown the best on the team. I'm like, does it matter who's better between the two?
Right.
Like,
it's kind of like if we was out here like, and we do this sometimes. Like a better comp with us, like if we were going back and forth, like who's better between John and Bane? Like, bro, who gives a damn? We good as shit. Like, you can do that between like Jaren because he's a big and against big versus small, cool. But these are 2 identical bookend wings that are 2 of the best wings in the game, man. And I just don't understand why people want to just try to like tear the thing up from the inside. And I meant to ask Jonathan Marshall this too last week when he was on here, but they seem to have just an interesting dynamic. I would love to see like a for real documentary even about their dynamic. Because those are 2 guys that both came in super young. There's a picture going around that has Kyrie when he was there with those 2 guys. And they literally look like elite high school players up there with Kyrie or some type of, photo op or something like that.
Yep.
But yeah, what do you think their dynamic really is? Like, do you think they feel away towards each other? Do you think they're cool? Because they don't seem to be like over the top boys. Like you don't see a lot of like crazy camaraderie between them. But I don't see anything that makes me think that there's any type of chemistry issue with those 2 as well. So where do you think that they sit as far as their, comfortability with each other?
I think they're cool with each other. I don't think are they best friends. Nah, but not many teammates are best friends. And the best friends we saw, they got split, Kyrie and KD. So most time the best friend thing don't work out anyway. Right. But I think they're cool.
Fall out with your boy.
Right. And I saw yesterday Jaylen Brown got the Eastern Conference Finals MVP. Jason Tatum seemed super happy. And I didn't see he went back like, it should have been mine.
So where are people getting this from that they're like, I don't know, man.
Media.
Yeah. The chase of like Jordan going to 6-0 and, as far as championships are concerned, and then LeBron coming around and everybody want to compare them to that. It's like we just put these weird standards of expectation on guys now. You know what I mean? Because like Anthony Edwards is 22 years old and he's already gotten to the conference finals. Yep. He might not ever get there again. You know what I mean? Like, he may not. But it's like we put these just weird expectations for dudes. But if he plays in Minnesota and he's got a long career there and they're good, they're in the top of the West, you know, repeatedly for the next, you know, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years, whatever. Like who could say he's had a bad career? Like who? Like Stockton and Malone never won nothing. Them dudes were together like 14 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and they never won nothing.
And to the point, Anthony Edwards, Minnesota has only made the conference finals once in their
entire
existence. So he like,
yeah, it's nuts, man. Like, and I think this is Boston's year. I think they're gonna get it. It's gonna be interesting to see. And I'm gonna make this comment, and I'm gonna leave this. We're gonna do Grizzlies talk for the rest of your segment. You look at a team like Dallas, right? You're like, okay, Dallas has got you got Kyrie Irving, not a good defender. Luka Doncic, not a good defender. Not David Jones. Shout out to David Jones. We'll talk about him next segment.
Derrick Jones.
Derrick Jones Jr., right? Who's kind of made himself into a totally different player than he was when he first came into the league, right? Yeah. So, but he's a good defender. He's a decent perimeter defender. I'm not gonna say he's like, you know,
he's
a
not
stopper or nothing like that. He's good. I mean, he's so athletic. Of course, he can defend if he puts the effort in. But it's like how are they like? I'm thinking like, okay, well, Tatum and Brown are going to go off. Like they can't guard both of those dudes. Like even if Jones can guard one of them, Kyrie or Luka are going to get smacked by the other one. But I'm like, they just beat the Clippers. You know what I mean? So I'm like,
they've been playing defense, guy. Because Kyrie checked up James Harden in the first round. So I'm like, hey, I guess as long as you try, I guess the fun thing is they couldn't play defense because they were just like taking time off of them.
Yeah.
But both of them, they actually trying. They actually playing pretty decent in the postseason. So shout out to Jason Kidd.
And I'm gonna use that to flip into my next conversation. We're gonna talk Grizzlies stuff now. Paul George was on his podcast today, and he gave a big shout out to Gigi Jackson, right? He's like, man, a lot of people sleeping on Gigi. He can do this, he can do that. And I'll say this, man, I'm making my public confession. I did it on Twitter, and I'm going to do it again here on the show. I told people I was going to get on board with it. I was going to talk about why I'm on board with it and the caveat to it. And I'm #start Gigi at the 3. Shout out to Chris Ingram, host of No Bluffing Podcast. I'm on board with it now. And I'm explaining why, man. Like I'm watching Dallas in real time get away with the shit that I'm saying Memphis can't do.
Yeah, they are.
You know what I mean? And I'm not, you know, Gigi's not Derrick Jones Jr., but what I'm saying is I'm saying the Grizzlies wouldn't be able to survive if you're making either Ja or Bane have to play defense, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I figured out a way to make it happen. Like I figured out a way to make it happen, right? All right, this whole time I was talking about if Marcus Smart is here, right? If Marcus Smart is here, you have to pull Smart fast, bring Vince in, and then you bring Smart back in for Ja, right?
Right.
You would do the exact same thing if Gigi was your starter, except for you would use Bane like I was talking about using Marcus Smart. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You start Ja, Bane, Vince. You pull Bane first. Bane's your first sub out. You bring Vince in for defense, right? You bring Bane back, but without Ja. So now you make Bane your primary ball handler in that offense. He gets to go off, and we've seen Bane. He can do that shit.
Yeah.
But then you got Bane and Vince out there with Brandon Clark, whoever your big is, Jared Allen, whoever. You understand what I'm saying? But you're using Bane as your guy that you're kind of floating around as opposed to instead of using Marcus Smart that way. What you think?
I like it. I think Bane is he's not a great defender, but he ain't no bad defender either. Like he's a pretty decent.
You pull
defender.
him first. Then if it's Ja, if you pull Bane first, and you got Ja, Vince, and Gigi, both of those guys are gonna eat because Ja is gonna feed them. Like he's gonna set them up. He's gonna maximize those two dudes.
Which they kind of do anyway, because they would take Bane out.
They
first,
do it all the time anyway.
They do that anyway.
They'll pull out Bane first and they'll bring him back. And I think
he'll cook with the bench.
I think this if your front line, if your starting lineup is Ja, Bane, Gigi, Jaren, and whoever your big is, that's your 5. That's probably your 5 best players on the team, especially if you go get somebody with a name like Jared Allen.
Yep. And like I said, my whole stance.
That's my same logic for starting Gigi. It may change next week, so stay tuned.
Of course.
Stay tuned.
My stance has always been, I mean, he can start cool. If you don't, hey, whatever happens, like, as long as
either way, I'm good with it.
He better be playing. That's what
either way, I'm good with it. Yeah, I'm good with it either way for sure. Another thing I definitely want to talk about regarding the Grizzlies is I put up a tweet out today saying that I've been saying that either Marcus Smart or Vince Williams, Marcus Smart or Luke Kennard won't be on this roster. I said that I stand on it. Like, no way both of them are back, right? I'm going to say this here today, man. And like I said this on my tweet today, I would not be shocked if neither one of them are back, especially with the level of rumors you're hearing and names you're hearing the Grizzlies connected to, right? Yep. If you do the Mavs got a Mav, man. And like those seems like the two dudes that would be out of the door. You know what I mean? Because and I told y'all, man, I love when I'm right. I love when I'm right, man. And I told everybody, don't be fooled by this Donovan Mitchell report. The report is true. The Grizzlies may be a dark horse in that situation, but the Grizzlies are in that conversation about Jared Allen. They're not particularly there for Donovan Mitchell. But when big names start coming out, you better jump in those conversations. I said that, right? And now you're hearing now that the two teams that are heavily pursuing Cleveland for Jared Allen are the Grizzlies and the Thunder.
Okay, see. Yep.
Right? And if you're talking Jared Allen trade with Cleveland, Marcus Smart is 1,000,000% the player that the Grizzlies are adding in the deal.
Yep.
Why? Because it allows you to put either Smart or Donovan Mitchell at the one, or just play two combo guards with Mitchell being the scorer and Smart being the guy who's just a super utility, defend the best player on the other side. Makes your backcourt a lot different than when you had Garland. And a team is probably a little bit more ready for the playoffs, right? Especially if you get a team like Boston again and you get to see, you know, Marcus Smart go against those guys again.
Yep.
I think that he has to be the piece in it. And then on the other side, you're hearing a lot of other deals, a lot of other players being connected to Memphis, possibly Dorian Finney-Smith. But you just kind of feel like, okay, if I trade a Marcus Smart, yeah, I've got Vince, yeah, I have Gigi, but I think I need one more guy who can just come in and play defense, whether that's Dorian Finney-Smith, whoever you're talking about. And I think if that's the case, you're going to move Kennard, right?
Yep.
And guess what? If I take Marcus Smart, who's 6'3", and turn him into a 6'11", 7-foot big, right? And I take Luke Kennard, who's 6'5", and turn him into a 6'7", 6'8" wing. I went from being a very small team to being a very nice size, you know, team as far as length is concerned overnight. You know what I mean? So if that's the case, sign me up for all of that, especially if you can, because there's a lot of guys in that $15 million range. There are a lot of guys who are available this summer, man. Whether it's like you're talking about maybe a Cam Johnson, Dorian Finney-Smith. There are a lot of wings that are in that price range that you can see being available. So like I said, I expect both of those guys to be gone, and it kind of allows you to do a lot more dynamic things, because especially when you talk about wings, because technically you can look at a situation where Vince is playing shooting guard and Gigi's playing the 4 sometimes, and you can still have another guy out there that's, you know, a Dorian Finney-Smith or whoever you put out there. So I can definitely see a situation where, because just being real with you, in these NBA playoffs, you're seeing guys like a Dorian Finney-Smith affect games way more than guys like Luke Kennard. You know what I mean? Like, he's one of the greatest shooters in the league, but who's another one? Who's another spot-up shooter right now in the playoffs who's like being that dude, who's even getting real minutes?
Because at that point,
Sam Hauser or somebody, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
Ain't nobody making $15 million, you know what I mean? So,
because
go ahead.
Even someone like Tim Hardaway, barely playing right now.
Hey, you're playing
Tim Hardaway Jr. Like, you playing Josh Green, Jaden Hardy, and Derrick Jones Jr., who we just talked about.
There's guys like that who show up in the playoffs, who are actually getting those minutes. So I would not be surprised to see both of those guys move. But like I said, at first I thought it was going to be Kennard and we hold on to Smart. It's definitely leaning more like Smart, especially when you're hearing names like Jared Allen being in the mix. And I think that I hate to say it, man, but I think if you can go Marcus Smart 9 in the draft, this year's pick 9 and Marcus Smart, I think something like that, possibly something else like future seconds, or
that could help. Albeit okay.
I think something like that could get
because you think you bid against OKC, who got all them draft picks coming up.
Right.
And you would probably have to do that, throw in the 9 with Marcus Smart.
I think somebody else said that Jared Allen's agent is the same agent as Desmond Bain or something like that. Is that true?
I'm not sure. Probably. I wouldn't shock me.
Because, I mean, I'm not saying that agents run the league, but I'm sure that he may have some type of pull with them. Like, hey, like I'd much rather go to Memphis and go Oklahoma City, because if he goes to Oklahoma City, like they've got a center. Yeah, you can say we're gonna go 2 bigs, but he might be shell shocked. Like, nah, I've seen that shit before. Like I think this shit could happen a little bit better with Jaren if he's the 4 and I'm the 5. I believe he can be sold that this can work better if that's the case. But yeah, Kenny just chimed in that they do have the same agent. So
same agent.
I don't know. Like I said, man, I think that Jared Allen thing is real. When I heard the Donovan Mitchell news, I immediately thought it was real. So that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at on that for sure. Something else that we've seen as far as the draft is concerned, Devin Carter is a guy who's people are saying that he's on the Grizzlies' radar. That kind of stuff makes it feel like the Grizzlies do plan on moving down in the draft if you're talking about taking a guy like that. And I'm looking at this Jared Allen trade once again. They've got the 20th pick in the draft. We've got 9th.
Swap.
You do trade, Smart for Allen, 9-20. You get 20. Can you get Devin Carter? We'll see. But there's a lot of guys you may can get. You may get I keep saying Kyle Elware, but you could get Khalil Ware.
Yeah.
I keep thinking I'm talking about Superman or something. Like I said, it's just a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff that can happen if you can get back in the draft at 20. Are you gonna go Zach Edey? Do you can it's a lot of things you can do. Filipowski, what I mean?
Also package something to get moved back up a little bit to 15 or something, wherever. I don't know what teams.
You might chase a guy like Devin Carter who could come in and be a combo guard, relieve Bane off the ball a little bit, can defend, play with Bane, play with Ja.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that you can do. Like I said, I'm here for all of it, man. Final Memphis Grizzlies thing we'll talk about as we wrap up this particular interview with Parish, Sharkey. My man, Ja Morant. I thought this already happened. Undoubtedly, it didn't. Ja Morant will be entered into the Murray State Basketball Hall of Fame. Quite the accomplishment for Ja Morant. Probably their biggest athlete just came out of that school. I'm sure he's going to be the class of that Hall of Fame. I know he already had his jersey retired. But
jersey retired, yeah. He had the jersey
I guess
retired.
This is new. I mean, of course it's new because they're saying it's new. But yeah, shout out to Ja.
I know they had a Hall of Fame, so.
Right. Who else did that join?
Got to be Campaign and Isaiah
Campaign and him. And what's the dude's name?
Cannon, Isaiah Cannon, the other guard.
Isaiah Cannon, yeah. And Maurice Cannons, yeah. Kenny Stovell says his wife is in the Murray State Hall of Fame. Your wife played volleyball, right, Kenny? Something like that?
What's up?
Oh, he said she's not.
No, she's not for real. Oh. My God.
Man, crazy.
Be taking for real now. What's up?
Like, damn. Man, married to a high level D1 athlete in this joint, man.
I ain't wait, just out here regular smuggling.
Yeah, man. But we about to take a break, man. When we come back, we're gonna do this thing called a 3-pointer. We'll talk about more stuff that's going on in the NBA, man. Bronny James, Tiger basketball, and of course the legendary Bill Walton passed away this weekend. We'll talk about all those things and more here on the Anthony Sain Show. We'll see you guys in a minute.
Well, I pretty much thought of him as a second rounder to undrafted guy to begin with, being listed at 6'6" and then getting measured at 6'3.5". That's not going to help you at all. It doesn't change my NBA prospect, view on him too much, because I already had, I don't want to say a low opinion on him, but a skeptical one for sure, because David Jones can score with anybody. But what about the ball handling? What about the defensive IQ?
Someone could definitely fall in love with him. Especially he could easily find himself into a guaranteed 2-way deal because of his ability to score. Just come in and kind of be lightning in a bottle type of situation. But that 6'3.5" is something I talked about last week. I didn't think he was actually going to come back and measure at 6'6" by any means. And I think it hurts him. He does have a plus wingspan, though. I guess that's a good.
Tune in to Tigers Untapped with TJ Willis and Trey Lasley every Wednesday at 3 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
When I saw that Michael Cole put out a story of Adam Silver continuing his check-ins with Ja, I'm like, what the hell are we doing? Draymond Green is still kicking dudes in the nards and throwing spinning back fists in the middle of games. And for some reason, Ja Morant still needs a check-in. He's yet to hurt anybody. He's taking the right steps. Shut Shut the hell up, dude. Like, what are we doing? It is such posturing. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable, and it's gross. It was steep, and he was trying to make an example of him, and we didn't think he'd be able to stick to that. Lo and behold, by damn, he hasn't. Miles Bridges in the league. Draymond had an indefinite suspension away from – I don't even think it was actual suspension. Sorry, you knew exactly what button to push because I saw the article come out, and I was like, what a cuck. It's unbelievable.
Adam Silver, the cuck.
Come hang out with Daniel Greer and Nathan Qualls on Grizz Not a City Media YouTube channel.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Anthony Sain Show. My boy Kenny Stubblefield jumped on with us. Came to find out his wife was a Hall of Famer with Murray State. You got to get us some of the Murray State jobs, man. What's up?
Hey, man, I've been trying to. We've been trying to get up to Murray State, man. But nah, yeah, she played volleyball back in the day, man. She should be in the Hall of Fame, but she's not, man. Unfortunately. Hey, I got before we move on to the 3-pointer. Y'all were talking during that second segment that I have a question I want to ask both of you. Get your opinion on.
Let's get it.
You were talking about Cleveland in particular, the Jarrett Allen move, getting involved in the Donovan Mitchell conversation, things like that. There is not anybody that's going to sit here and say that Darius Garland is not a fantastic point guard. Like in the NBA, he's nice. Like he's a good player.
Yep. He was an all-star before Donovan Mitchell got there. He was an all-star.
But it definitely feels like Cleveland has made the decision based on moves they're going to make, that they don't think they can go very far in the playoffs with a Darius Garland. Is that what? Do you guys think that's true? I mean, do you guys think that's their thinking?
I think it's the combination, the backcourt.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of that and also the fact that I don't think Donovan Mitchell dislikes him personally, but I think Donovan Mitchell doesn't particularly want to be playing in the backcourt with another small point guard. It's like Utah all over again when he had Mike Conley.
Yeah.
And I think they want him to get somebody that can defend and kind of play off of him. And I think Donovan Mitchell kind of wants to be on the ball and, we're not going to screw around with another point guard.
I guess my question is like, when, in y'all's opinion, when does a team, it feels like most decisions that are being made by teams these days are decisions around what suits us the best in the playoffs, even if that means punting on guys that you've developed, punting on guys you've drafted, punting on guys that you have that are still awesome players, but might not fit the playoff look that you want your team to. What is the fine line for teams in that regard? Like, what if they come out? What if a team comes out and say, like, what if the Grizzlies look up and just say one day, dog, like, look at this series. Desmond Bane and John Morant can't fit in a playoff contender team. Got to dump Dez or Ja or whoever. When, in y'all's opinion, when is that a good decision for a team to make in terms of playoff contention, or when is it good to continue to develop good players that you've developed? Does that make sense?
I think it's kind of hard to really determine in 1 year. You know what I mean?
It varies by team.
I loved this Cleveland team before Donovan Mitchell got there, right?
Right.
Like when they traded, because here's the thing, would this Cleveland team be much worse if they kept Lauri Markkanen instead of getting Donovan Mitchell, and then they kept Garland at the point, right? And like never brought Donovan Mitchell. Like would they be in any different place if your front line is Jarrett Allen, Evan Mobley, and Lauri
Markkanen?
It'd be nasty. It'd be nasty
with Garland setting the table. Like I was really high on that team, back then. They made the decision to bring in Donovan Mitchell, and they just kind of gotta eat it at this point, man. Like, but it's kind of hard to determine if something like that can last for so long. And I think the difference is guys like Ja and Dez came in this pretty much around the same time, and they peaked. And they're peaking at the same time
together.
That's all they've ever known. Like Ja's only known Dez to be his guy in the backcourt. He played a little bit with Dez. I mean, a little bit with Dylan at the two. A little bit with not JJ Redick. little bit with Grayson Allen at the two, but Bane's been this dude for a long time. So
to that point, I would say to that point, like look at like a team like Minnesota who they traded for Rudy Gobert, and last year the experiment failed essentially, right? But guess what? They ran it back. Now look at them, West Conference Finals. So it varies by team, but like some teams are impatient. And Cleveland, it had to be some locker room stuff going on because they maxed out their season. They made it to the second round. Then Donovan Mitchell got hurt. Jerry Allen got hurt. You missed your players against Boston, who you probably won't compete if fully healthy anyway. And then you fire your coach. So, and now all the other rooms coming out.
Y'all think JB got screwed in that situation?
Of course it did. Like that team, bro, that team got out the first round.
Yeah,
they're supposed to. They lost to Boston. They lost to Boston like
tough.
Come on, man. Like, like what did you expect to happen? You know what I mean? So what'd you find JB Bickerstaff for? Like it's all crazy. But I'm sure the whole thing boiled down to a Donovan Mitchell thing. Because I said a long time ago, I like him a lot better now than I did at first. I've always thought Donovan Mitchell was kind of phony. I've always thought he's like way big of a diva than he comes off to be. You know what I mean? And I think that he probably got JB up out of there, especially when those reports came out. JB Bickerstaff was accused of won the lead practice, and I'm like, well, he's a coach.
He's a coach, man.
What are you supposed to do? You want to be coached?
Because the opposite report was JB doesn't coach. JB doesn't get involved in any of the day-to-day stuff. Like, what are you talking about? Like, he's coaching. Anyway. Sorry, I didn't mean to hijack the conversation.
You good, bro? The 3-pointer, man. We're gonna talk about 3 things going on in the world of sports. Number 1, man, this Bronny James stuff is just getting out of control, bro. Like, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like, when this thing first came out, it ain't many things that I've been like butt naked dead wrong about, right? But this clearly is one of them, because I was like, all right, this isn't a real thing. Teams are gonna work out Bronny. He's gonna end up getting a 2-way deal or something with the Lakers, or just kind of being a part of their organization, playing their G League team, going through the minors, and he'll get called up and he'll play a couple games with his dad at Staples Center or wherever the hell they play it now. But there are really teams like Phoenix really is talking about drafting this dude at 22. Like, bro, give us that pick, bro. No, take him at 36, bro. Like, if y'all are that goofy, give us 22. Can we pick swap now? Can we pick swap the 22? Yeah, come on, man. What are y'all doing, bro? Y'all about to burn the first round pick on Bronny James? Like, for real?
How is Phoenix gonna get LeBron? What cap?
They want him to get veteran minimum. They want him to get. They want
him to go play for Phoenix, bro. Like,
bro, I am. If they draft Bronny just to try to lure LeBron with a veteran minimum,
I do not feel sorry for him.
Phoenix deserves everything coming their way, bro. They deserve everything coming their way. This owner needs to get the hell out of town if he does this, man.
Yep,
because that he's setting that team back so far. It's ridiculous.
And if I'm Devin Booker, now this is they're gonna mess around and win the championship, and somebody gonna come back and find this clip of all three of them. Yeah, but Devin Booker needs to get the hell up out of there, bro. Like, bro, what are y'all doing, bro? Like, y'all literally, I've asked for, all I really wanted was a point guard. Back when I had a team that had Cam Johnson, Mikal Bridges, me, Aiden. All that team really needed was a young point guard, right? Y'all could have went and got me Darius Garland. You could have got whoever, like, you know what I mean? You could have got Trae Young, whatever you're doing. Bro, like, why in the world do I look up and there's Bradley Beal and LeBron James on my team? And LeBron James is going to come in, like, trying to little bro me. Like, no, bro, get the hell out of here.
Point guard.
Yeah.
Who's the point, right? Is it LeBron?
LeBron.
They come out of that first round of that draft with a poor man's Bruce Bowen and a LeBron James. Like,
we're Bronny backing him up.
With Bronny backing him up.
Crazy, bro. This shit crazy. Like, they're playing for the league minimum, and and LeBron throwing everybody on the bus. Like, come on, man.
Did they fire Frank?
They literally
they fired Frank Vogel, so they got to get a new coach in too.
Man, they just took that man. I thought they hired what's his name? I thought they hired
Budenholzer.
Budenholzer.
Yeah.
They got Mike Budenholzer. Yeah.
Man, get out of my face, bro. This Bronny stuff is crazy. Like, and I had somebody today say, "Oh, this is nepotism." I was like, yeah. I mean, we see nepotism all the time. We see Jeannie Buss is the owner of the Lakers, right? You know what I mean? Who made her a billionaire? You know what I mean? Like, so I mean, nepotism is all over the place, whether it's, on the court, ownership, coaching. Taylor Jenkins, go do your research. You know what I mean? Like how he got his starts in the league or whatever.
That's a little overblown. Taylor started in the film room. Like,
Bruh,
let's not
ask yourself how you go look up Taylor Jenkins.
I know the story. I know the story.
All right.
But he didn't start off on the bench. He started off in the film room.
But what I'm saying is he got escalated. What's the word?
He got a fast
he got
line.
The fast track, bro. Come on now.
No, you're right.
Come on now. Don't do that now. You pulled a real Triple H in this joint. Go check the history. But with that being said, man, like it's nepotism all over the place. So I don't really care about none of that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know,
you try to fight nepotism. It's a losing battle, bro. I'm sorry.
Yeah, media, ownership, players, everybody is nepotism all over the place. People gonna always look out for people. You know, Asylum Media Group is my attempt to nepotize kids. You know what I mean? It's my attempt for nepotism, right?
You know how, Parish, you know how many times Anthony's pitched me a new podcast?
Hey, don't forget about Don't forget about the podcast. Hey, I got this WBA show, man. I'm telling you.
I got a great idea for you, bro.
Hey, we low key. Hey, we could get some women.
I dig it.
I'm working on something.
I'm down go ahead and do that.
Hey, Anthony's my guy, so you know I listen to him, man.
Yeah,
we about to watch straight WNBA this next weekend.
Hey, I didn't give you some fire. Hey, look how it turned out, man. I got Michael.
Yep.
Evan, a hot show with him and
Chris.
Come on, man. Chris ain't gonna playing with me, bro.
Hey, I trust Anthony, man. I listen to what he has to say.
Yeah, but hey, it's nepotism though, right?
Nepotism though.
Right.
That's my brother, man. You know
hey, let a black man get his son some perks, man. Hey, people been doing it all my goddamn life. Don't act like that. But anyway, yeah, I'm just kind of over it though, bro. I'm not mad at the fact that LeBron is pulling strings and getting whatever for Bronny. But using the first round pick on that dude, that is egregious.
Nah,
Phoenix, like I said.
Declining workouts.
That mug is declining workouts, bro. That just tells me, you know what that tells me? Is that someone has promised him something already. Like it's a done deal.
It tells me Bronny's somewhere playing the game and his daddy's out there just making all these decisions. Yeah. Bronny's somewhere playing PlayStation. So one day, okay, bet. All right.
I'll be there, Dad. Don't worry about it.
Let me know when training camp starts. That's what's going on. But speaking of training camp, that transition was cold. Number 2, Tiger basketball, man. A lot of stuff going on. Man, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Penny is. I remember I had this job, Kenny, where I was working in this warehouse, and these new owners came in, new owners, new management, everything came in. No, owners were the same, new management came in, right? And this guy said he was just firing everybody left and right. Everybody had a title. He was bringing in his own people, his friends. And I kind of survived this whole transition. Like, he didn't fire me. He brought me in the office. He said, Anthony, you know what? When I first came out here, my intention was to fire the hell out of you, right? He said, but man, I threw you a noose and tried to throw it over your neck. He said, man, you caught the noose, got it, and made a bow out of it and handed it back to me. He made a bow out of it and handed it back. It was a noose. I was trying to hang you with it, but you really shine. He said,
was he a white dude talking about a noose?
He was a white Hispanic dude. He was a white Hispanic dude.
You might want to change your analogies a little bit, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Don't be talking about it.
Go back and sue that brother for saying it. I never even thought about it, to be honest with you. But anyway, so but the point I'm trying to make is like Penny Hardaway, right? Like, people are saying all these things about what Penny can't do and won't do, and recruiting is going to go down. Not only did he jump into the transfer portal super early this year, but he's got his roster set. Like, he's ready. June 1st, let's go. Everybody's going to be in camp early. Big difference from last year. I think it's going to pay dividends to get all those guys in. So everybody's there except for David Jones, who has until 11 o'clock today, Wednesday. Tonight. I'm hoping that by the time you guys are watching this is old news, and we hear that David Jones is going to be back. I don't know. I've stayed out of this. I'm going to lean on you, Kenny. Have you heard anything? How you feel it's going to lean?
Yeah, man, I think that there are a legitimate questions on everybody's part of where David Jones is going to go. Like, what's he going to do, right? Like, how would you feel? Let me ask. I'm going to throw it back to y'all. Does it change your calculus on whether or not you think he's coming back if he's still taking workouts the day of the deadline?
Damn. No. That's not. Hey, I'm gonna be real with you, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Cause my thing is, if he was coming back, it ain't like dudes waiting until 11 o'clock tomorrow night or Wednesday night to decide. Mud's gonna already know pretty much what they're gonna do. Because my thing is silence is not good in this type of situation to me.
Okay.
So if he working out with people today, that means he's. I don't know, bro.
I think it don't really change, man.
Yeah,
it don't really change, man. I think just it's like, I don't know, because he didn't have a good combine, right? So I just really think he just really still trying to get as many answers as he can to know if he do come back, this is what I need to work on, type of deal.
Yeah, I tend to think that if he is still working out with teams, which as of right now, he is still working out with teams, even the day of. I think that there are, I think that does give me pause a little bit to go, okay, maybe he's hearing something, because I think he's already heard. I think David's a smart kid. He's got good people around him. He knows what he needs to work on. There's not I don't think that's an issue. I don't think he's looking for answers on that anymore. But what he said, he was talking to Drew Hill at the combine, and Drew asked me, what are your thoughts on it? And he said, if I get an answer that I'm looking for, I'm gone.
That's different.
And so
I know that quote.
And so like that to me tells me maybe he's hearing something, because we had the same deal with Lester Quinones a few years ago. Right. Where Lester heard what he wanted to hear and stayed in. Now, what he wanted to hear didn't come to fruition, but Lester had already made his decision. He was in. Right. And so that's where I'm a little bit concerned. But I will say this to you, man, like, knowing all of that and knowing that we've got a few hours until David has to make that decision, it's not a hard process to get out of the draft. You send a text in, an agent sends a text to my agent, withdraw me right now. Boom, it's done. Then he sends out a tweet and it's over, right? Like it's over. Right. He's out within about a 5-minute stretch. So that's not a problem. But I will say this, man. If I know Penny, and I think I do, Penny's got a backup plan already in place if David doesn't come out. So, and I think it's a name, from what I understand, it's a name that a lot of Tiger fans are going to know, and that it'll be fine. So,
okay,
that's John DeLawson.
That's the first thing that came to my mind. I ain't gonna lie. He was.
I've been today. I said, man, I'm gonna ask Kenny. Because where the hell did John DeLawson go? Like, he ain't committed nowhere.
He hasn't committed anywhere.
Hey, there it is right there.
Right.
Yeah.
So I was like,
I genuinely think, I legitimately think that Penny has told, and I don't, this is not coming from anything else other than a gut feeling.
If Penny's got 3 scholarships, even if David Jones commits to, keep that in mind. Right.
He's got 2.
If David Jones commits, he's got 2. Okay, go ahead. My bad.
Yeah.
No, you're good. I would suspect Jonathan wants to play, and I don't think that he will get much PT on this team if he comes back. I'll just be frank with you about that. So I would suspect that Penny, based on his affection for the Lawson kids and the Lawson family, has probably told them,
and he ain't gonna play with y'all like that. Yeah.
Like, no, I don't want to mess with you like that, man. You need to go somewhere you can play.
All right, who was the dude that got his ass fired today? ain't never heard a dude's name ever in my life.
Oh, Andy Borman. Yeah, Andy Borman.
Who the hell is Andy Borman?
I heard him in the Discord. I heard the name.
I ain't never heard of dude. Who is that, bro?
He was a former.
I saw the tweet. I'm like, what the hell is Andy Borman?
Who? He ain't Cody Topper.
No, Andy Borman was the coach for the New York Wrens AAU team. If you go back and you check the New York Wrens AAU roster back in the day, they are legendary in the New York area in terms of AAU high school basketball. Andy Borman was the dude for that team for years. I think when Andy Borman came on staff at Memphis, there was this idea that there was going to be a pipeline from the New York area to Memphis in terms of players.
Man, man was on the pipe and line.
Yeah, that man was on the pipe and line. That just didn't happen. And there's a lot of reasons that didn't happen. You know, Tyler Johnson was one of the kids that played for the New York Wrens that had committed to Memphis. Ultimately, there was some grades issues at Memphis. He then went to Louisville, got cleared by Louisville. And then Kenny Payne did Kenny Payne business, and now Tyler's not there anymore. So anyway, there's a lot of players that have been closely associated with Memphis compare like with the, from the New York Rens situation. But I think Andy is better suited to be somewhere else other than at Memphis right now, to be honest with you. So Penny made that decision. So
yeah, man. Shout out to dude. Wish you the best. Never heard of you.
Don't even know who you are.
Didn't even know.
Hey,
didn't even know who you was.
That tells me you don't listen to Sports 56 because he's on there every week.
No. It shows every time I listen since I left that damn thing. No.
Sorry. That was some shots fired. I apologize.
Hey, Andy Borman. You got Andy Borman. Fucking Andy Borman. Hey, I'm riding to the car the other day, man. And I'm listening to Gabe Cool's show, right? Hey, because I ain't gonna lie, Gabe is my cheat sheet when it's somebody really needs to talk about, that's like kind of important. And I know I don't know nothing about this shit. I just listen to Gabe on the way in the car before I go record. Right?
That man knows everything about everybody.
Right, because Gabe could go in depth about anything. Right? Like whatever. Yeah. When you look at
let me tell you what I know about Andy Borman.
Was he a good recruiter? Probably so, but was he a fit here? No.
Yeah. Oh God.
Look who the hell is Andy Borman. Anyway, right? Don't listen to the game, right?
Hey, shout out Gabe Coon Show on 92.9.
Shout out Gabe Coon Show, bro. Shout out On the Bluff. You can hear and watch here every
every Tuesday afternoon at noon.
Yeah, so I'm listening to the game, right? The game is like every week, so and so from the Memphis Showboats. I'm like, what you doing,
bro? I know he did. Now with that record. No, he did. No, he did. No, he did. Not the Memphis Showboats. Boy.
I said, what the Sports 56 is this, man? Come on, Gabe. Why you got it? Gabe got that Sports 56 juice still on him, man. Oh God. I about to call Gabe when the show's over. Let him know I'm on his ass right now too, man. Okay, I'm good. All right. With that being said, I would say like the actual serious segment for last.
Yeah.
Boy.
We got Steve Whoeverwich of the quarterback coach of the
Whoevervich.
I'm like, who the hell is this?
Hey.
Oh God. Oh, okay. All right. Almost 60 shots of some of our former guests that I don't really fool with no more. But anyway, with that being said. All right. All right, rest in peace, man. Bill Walton passed away. I want to say he was 71 years old. Bill Walton is a guy who's a little bit before our time when he's ended playing ball. Had a legendary game against at the time Memphis State University. Still one of the most ridiculous stat lines I've ever seen. 21 or 22 from the field in their national championship game. If you're a fan of the NBA, if you don't know who Bill Walton is as a player, you definitely know his voice as a commentator. Just a legendary voice that you've heard forever.
You either love him or you hate him as a commentator, by the way.
And I heard somebody talking about him today saying that he's one of the first NBA stars that like really didn't take himself serious. Like the first kind of like the Dwight Howard type, silly Shaq type dude to kind of be on that type of vibe. Something I didn't know. I didn't know he was a Finals MVP. My whole understanding of Bill Walton, which I realized is false, is that I thought he was a guy whose career got cut very short. I didn't know that he did anything really. I thought he was a guy who just kind of faded out of the league.
Fantastic in college, but nothing in the NBA. Yeah. But he was good.
I thought he was one of those guys because of injuries who didn't really do much of nothing. But I thought he was Finals MVP. Like shit,
important. That was important, right?
Yeah, right. He was on that team, but Hubie Brown. But Lionel Hollins, right?
Hubie Brown and Jesus were on the same basketball team.
Hubie Brown was the head coach, veteran head coach. Yeah, man, for sure. But shout out to Bill Walton. Just a pretty cool anecdote I'll add to it. Was listening to Jeff Calkins talk about it today, and he said that he interviewed Luke Walton back on his show Sports Files back in the day when Luke was hired as Josh Pastner's assistant coach. And he said that he asked him, like, did your dad talk about the Memphis State game? he was like, talk about it. He said, man, like we had to watch that game. He said that was like the only thing my dad would let us watch. It was like watch him go off.
Wow.
That Memphis State game was the only sports video of my dad we ever saw. Like we literally would watch that all the time. So yeah, like I said, Bill Walton, one of the great players. And I kind of wanted to segue and just talk about this in general. How in our lifetime, we haven't seen a lot of NBA greats pass away at all. Like we haven't seen many NBA players. Just think about it. Like think about who's still alive, bro. Bill Russell just passed away, right?
Yeah,
just
last year.
Yep.
Kobe's passed away. Will Chamberlain's passed away. Oscar Robinson's still here.
Yep.
Like
Jerry West.
Yeah, Jerry West is still here. These guys are like in good health, man. Like a lot of the Dr. J, like all the all-time greats, man, they're still around. You know what I mean? And I don't know, man. Maybe that speaks to them just being superior humans. Like they're superior athletes, they're superior humans as well. And not a lot of stuff like, you know, hard drugs or maybe like steroids and things like that might be deteriorating their lifespan. Like these guys are like hanging around, bro. And like to lose any of them is just seems strange at this point. So like I said, rest in peace to Bill Walton. Just a great NBA personality. Like a guy who, like I said, if you don't know who he was as a player, you know his voice when you hear it. Legendary parody account on Twitter as well, man. Luke Walton, like I said, passing away. Rest in peace to him.
Bill Walton.
Bill Walton.
I say Luke Walton. Oh Lord, I didn't put Luke.
I say Luke.
Don't put that out. Don't put that out there in the universe.
Yeah, sure,
hey, real quick, what player passed away? What famous individual in the NBA, whoever? What messed you up the most? Like what impacted you the most?
Easily Kobe.
Yeah,
I mean, outside of Kobe.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Ain't that many, bro.
In sports,
outside of him, probably Bill Russell to me because, like, you know, Bill was a big time, you know, social justice advocate and all those type of things. And that made but clearly Kobe though. Like, it just ain't been that many, bro. Like most of our guys are still here.
Yeah,
I would say
still here. Shit.
Yep. You're right. In sports in general, Steve McNair for me in sports in general.
McNair, that was wild.
He messed me up the most out of anybody.
Yeah. That one was tough for sure. But yeah, man, we're about to take a break, man. When we come back, we're gonna wrap this thing up. Inside the Same Brain, man. I want y'all to get in the comments. Tell me whether I'm cheap as hell or you can relate in the comments. We'll talk about that and more.
I already know the answer. You cheap as hell.
When we come back to Inside the Same Brain, sponsored by good friends at Create A Cig. We'll see you guys in a minute.
An anonymous NBA team member says that having the #1 pick in this year's draft is like essentially drafting Tobias Harris.
Wow.
Which we've both talked about Tobias Harris. I like him as a player. Man, that's kind of harsh. But I understand what he's saying. You don't want Tobias Harris as the #1 pick in the draft.
Because you look at him and you see what can be. It's just like, just need it all. Can we get it all the time? I just want to see that more. You're talking about some people with some low numbers as being high draft picks. I mean, the draft is just a lot different than what I'm accustomed to. Like, you guys that are going to be averaging 11 points, some guys averaging 9 points. You know, these guys are your top 5 draft picks for the NBA draft.
I don't know, but good luck to them.
Yes.
Dreams will come true.
Well, we will welcome them into the NBA with open arms, especially if we can pronounce the last name.
Tune in to the Night Court Podcast with your hosts, Rob Fisher and Brevin Knight, on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel. At Create A Cig, our top priority is to provide the best customer service experiences possible while offering the largest variety of vape supplies, legal THC products, and smoking accessories. Our trained sales associates are here to assist any and all customers to help them find the best products available. With our daily deals, weekend deals, loyalty rewards program, and our punch card program, there are tons of rewards to earn to help our customers save plenty of money along the way. Check out one of Create A Cig's 4 locations across the greater Memphis area and come visit us.
All right, y'all. Welcome back to the Anthony Sain Show, sponsored, of course, by good friends at Create A Cig. 4 area locations, man. Go check them out. You might see me in any of them bad boys. You're going to see Kenny out there in that joint out there in Collierville on New Bahalia Road. You might see me at the joint in Midtown, 10 North McLean Boulevard. You might see Kenny, you know what I'm saying, on some real nicotine type shit out there.
You know, you ain't lying.
Your eyes got big like, no, don't do it. It's going to sound too egregious. But yeah, my guy Kenny out there was a real nicotine user type stuff, man. You're going to see him out there grabbing that Saint Asylum pack. You'll see me grabbing that Saint Asylum pack out there in Midtown. The nicotine pack, you can get any wave pack, any Ursa hand kit, any 60 milliliter theory or 30 milliliter salt Nick juice, or you can get the Delta 8 pack. That's the one I go grab. It's you get any pre-roll, torch pre-roll, get any man, my mind ain't right, man. I hit a little something before we started the show. Get any disposable, man. Any disposable vape. You get any bag of gummies, them purple joints, man. Them pastel cartel joints. I'm trying to tell you. It'll get you right for the night, man. I'm trying to tell you. But I'm gonna tell you one thing, man. I've snuck a lot of stuff into the movie theater. I've never technically snooking. I've never personally brought marijuana to a movie theater. I have popped the edible before I went, and it was a pretty good experience. I did that at the movies one time with Gabe, actually. I know y'all probably think I'm a terrible parent for doing so, but we were watching Clifford the Big Red Dog, and
you had to.
It was effing incredible.
It was the best movie ever.
I can't tell you nothing about it, but it was fantastic.
There was a big red dog. No,
but I had a moment, Kenny, where y'all probably gonna call this cheap. Y'all call it whatever you call it, but there aren't many movies that I'm like a big fan of, right? I'm all the Marvel movies, if they come out, I go see them in the movie theater. And there are not many other types of movies that get that type of loyalty from me. But the Planet of the Apes series, a movie series, I've seen every single one of them. I've seen the originals that came back in the 50s. I've seen the Mark Wahlberg joint that came out in the early 2000s. I've seen this entire new, redoing of them all. The Caesar trilogy, all these different movies. I've seen the TV shows, the cartoons. I'm just a Planet of the Apes guy. I just think it's an absolutely amazing story. I think it's a story of, if you keep bullshitting, bullshit gonna come back on your ass. It's just one of them type of stories that you can just take any type of metaphor. So many metaphors in that movie. Whether you're talking about the civil rights movement, whether you're talking about cruelty to animals, you want to talk about the disrespect and mistreatment of Latino people, or whatever, anything in history, you could compare it to the Planet of the Apes movies. Right? They're really just really good movies. And this new one comes out, right? And my brother calls me. He says, bro, now my brother's part of the reason why I'm such a Planet of the Apes fan, because him and my brother used to watch it all the time. Because back in the day, man, like you didn't have nothing on demand. You didn't really have VHS players and stuff too. You had those things, but you also had TV that would kind of show you the same stuff over and over again for those people who watched those series of movies, right? So some type of Planet of the Apes movie was always on damn near every Saturday, right? So my brothers would, made me Planet of the Apes fan. My brother's like, man, that John on bootleg, bro. I said, man, I can't do it, man. I gotta watch Planet of the Apes at the movie theaters. All right, movie's high as hell right now, man. I hear you, bro. So I'm like counting heads on how many people I'd have to take to the movies if I go. Sabrina's back in town and all this type of stuff. And I had this. I'm gonna talk about two things here, man. And I'm watching the movie on bootleg. Movie good as hell. I'm not gonna spoil it at all. It's a lot less linear than they like most Planet of the Apes movies. Like you watch them, and I can kind of watch it unassisted. When I mean unassisted, I mean like I don't have to really watch. If I watch any commentary about the movie, it's just for pleasure. Like not because I feel like I need to. I felt like I had to watch additional commentary on this movie just to get a total grasp of what the hell was going on. And maybe it's because I was watching on bootleg and I couldn't really hear everything they were saying.
Folks walking in front of the screen.
Exactly. And literally somebody there walking in front of the screen on this one. But I was having this conversation with my daughter. Sabrina's back home from college, right? And I was talking about Sabrina, like, if I go out with Gabe, like Gabe, little spoiled ass, mama's boy ass, like if me and him go, like if me and you go to the movies, we just go to the movies. Like we'll go out to eat after the movie. We don't eat nothing at the movie theater. We just focus on the movie. We ain't doing no popcorn and soda, all that. Me and you locked in. She was like, Dad, I'm the same way too. Like you're the only person I do that with. Like, Sabrina said,
Nice.
She said, no, that's not just a game thing. Like when like if any other time I go to the movies, I get popcorn, candy, drinks, all this type of stuff. You're the only person I go with that I don't.
Dang.
My thing is this. All right, like I said, I watched the movie Bootleg for the first time. Like I really feel like I cheated on Planet Apes, right? But when you all go to the movies, do you get popcorn, concessions, all that? Like I never get that stuff. Like never, bro.
I didn't in the past. I was never a huge popcorn person until I got media access to the Grizzly games and got their popcorn.
Oh hell yeah, be eating the shit out of popcorn.
But now I'm like a big now.
Popcorn the last 10 years in my life, definitely messing around with the Grizzly. Sure.
But before, I would say really before I even got married, I really didn't get stuff. But now I get the wife. Sometimes mother-in-law be with us, we'll get popcorn and stuff. But when I used to go by myself before I didn't used to get popcorn.
Parish started making that good money, man. He started making that good money.
But I'm saying, man, like the movies are like $12, $15.
Nah, because movies just be real cheap back.
And that's like for the standard movie. Like you mess around and go IMAX, you paying $20 or some crap.
Because even the man, they like $14 for the regular movie. You know, depending on what movie you're going to.
I don't know, man. Like to me, it's like I'm distracted by that stuff. Like if I go get a soda, like I got an old ass 44-year-old kidneys, bro. If I drink a big ass soda in the middle of the movie, I gotta go get it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I ain't trying to miss nothing, bro.
No,
I ain't trying to be reaching for no popcorn and man, bro. I'm trying to watch the goddamn movie. Like, and Serena's like, Dad, you're the only person I do that with. Like, that's not my preference. Like, I know
you don't even go to like the Dollar General and pick up a bunch of snacks.
Man, I don't do nothing.
I used to do that.
I don't have to have that, bro. Like,
I still do that. Yeah, with my daughter. My daughter wants snacks, bro. My daughter wants snacks.
Man, Gabe be thinking this. Gabe be in that joint like he finna eat them a full course meal and then be out.
You know, they got restaurants just now. He probably
I'm straight, man. So I ain't gonna lie. Marvel, your days might be numbered, bro, because I really enjoyed my bootleg Planet Apes experience. I might be done movie theater watching for sure, man. Like where are y'all at all together when it comes down to just the movie experience? Like
I go to the theater every once in a while, but we got all that. We got Peacock and Netflix and Max.
Netflix and all that.
Yeah, we just
my son just started wanting to go to the movie theater like probably last year. He's been deathly afraid of them forever. So every time the last however many years it's been my wife and my daughter that'll go and they'll go see these girly ass shows that I'm cool on. I'll keep my son at the house, but like he just started getting into it and so I like going with him, but there's not many movies that I'm like, I've got to go see in the movie theater. I'll watch it at home. I'm a homebody.
Yeah, I think I did my Apes wrong though, man. I really feel like I cheated on them for sure. Cause man, I'm just a ape fan in general. Like when I go to the zoo, I'm going straight to where the apes.
Yeah,
like I'm headed there. I'm beelining to that mug for sure. Like,
yeah.
Can you remember when we worked in, you know, for the same in the same building? I used to take my group of kids to Black People Day at the zoo.
Black People Day.
I used to take my kids to the free day.
You're so crazy, bro.
A
Tuesday afternoon.
Yeah. Hey, bro, wild, you know, hey, I don't know if this is true or not, but there was like a meme going around. I don't know if this is true or not, but there was a thing saying that used to be Black People Day, bro. Like the free day at the zoo used to be like when things were segregated. Like I said, there was a day that Black people could come, and it just kept that as the free day. I heard that, bro. I don't know if that's true or not, kid, but I don't know.
I don't know, man.
I had to ask Chris Harrington or somebody.
You're so wild, dude.
Used to be Black People Day back in Who would know that?
You say I know somebody that will know that, and I will ask them that question.
Yeah, I heard it used to be. I heard that the free zoo day used to be Black People Day. Like the only day we could come. Might as well make it free day.
So you're saying it's the only time they would let Black people come at all is on those days? Nah, bro.
The day that's the free day now. Bro, you think that was letting Black people and white people be in the same zoo at the same time in the 50s and 60s and shit? Come on, bro.
I don't know, man. I'll ask.
That happened, right? Like you couldn't just fall up and shit like that, bro.
No, I know. I realize that.
Yeah. Then Tiger basketball saved united the city.
United the city. City's team, baby.
It was the Finch and Larry Keenan year that
1973.
Yeah, it was the year that ended racism. But yeah. But if you truly want to end racism, visit our good friends at Create A Cig, 4 area locations. Because when you get high, man, you will get high with anybody. Trust me.
Don't matter.
I had to pass the blunt with some complete strangers of all colors for sure. But visit Create A Cig, man. Like I said, 4 area locations. Check them out. Kennedy's about to pull them up on the screen where all you can visit Create A Cig. Midtown location, 10 North McLean's the one out you may see me in. May see Kenny on 435 North Byhalia Road. Wherever you go, it's going to be a great experience. Not your typical smoke shop. Highly educated staff at each and every location that will take care of you, make sure you have everything you need, make sure you are good at Create A Cig. Well, gentlemen, that's another show in the books.
Hey, before we get out of here, I got one more topic I want to ask you.
All right, go ahead.
All right. Y'all hear about the San Diego policeman?
Yeah, man, I was going to talk about that Thursday.
You want to talk about Thursday? Okay. We'll hold it for Thursday.
Ass, you a 69 guard, man.
You heard about this, Parish?
Over freaking.
I see it Friday.
The freakiest times in human history, bro. For real.
They got. Can we talk about it for just 1 second? I just think
go ahead, man. We might as well. I'll talk about something else Thursday. We live in some freaky ass times, bro.
So this police officer, there's body cam footage of him arresting some lady on the side, on the street in San Diego. And he's talking to her, and she's like talking to him, oh, are you single? Are you this, that, and the third? He's like, yes, I am, but you're not, because apparently she was arrested with her boyfriend. And you hear her on the body cam. They're in the car. He's driving off to the jail, taking her to jail. She's locked up. I mean, she's in handcuffs in the back of the car. And you hear her say, he says something like, hey, don't say that because we're being recorded right now. And you hear her go, man, I'm DTF right now. You know DTF, right? Yeah. I'm DTF right now.
Yeah, a wrestling move, but go ahead.
And so this mug goes, okay, bloop, bloop, turns his recording off, turns his body cam off, stops on the side. He pulls off in some residential street, and it's there. He's there. You look at the GPS data. He's there for an hour. Next thing you know, he's calling out help to his fellow officers because this mug
locked his dumb ass in the car.
Locked his dumb ass in the back of the car with this chick in the back of the car. And so they had to call an officer to come and let him out of the car. He comes out and he's like, yeah, man, something happened and all this kind of stuff. They tested his belt buckle and found man juice all over it.
Freaky, man. We're living some freaky ass.
And so now this mug got fired. Like, what?
You don't think that shit ain't happening all the time, man? Like, there are women that probably proposition these officers often and get out of shit. Like, I'm sure that, I've heard stories about shit like that often. Like, that shit probably happens. That shit probably happens in every city once a night at least. And dude got caught up in the game, locked up in the car with the damn one.
For an hour.
Freaky ass dude, man. Freaky as hell.
Anyway, I thought that was one of the funniest stories I've heard in a long time, man.
Yeah, man. You supposed to protect and serve. You got to try to slang pipe, man. Come on, man.
Getting locked up in the back of the car. Come on, man.
Looking like a dummy. But yeah, man, it's been a good show, man. Got my guys here with me. We'll see you guys Friday for the next Anthony Sain show. Hopefully we'll hear good news about David Jones between now and then. But yeah, man, we're about to slide about this joint. We'll see y'all next time. And we out.
Thank you for listening to the Anthony Sain Show. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a rating and a review wherever you download your podcasts. Also, like and subscribe to Bluff City Media's YouTube page. For comprehensive coverage of Memphis sports, head over to www.bluffcitymedia.co and find out how you can become an insider. We will see you back here next week.